Good morning, everyone. This is Milton James, the Milton James podcast, and I'm really excited to bring to the world a unicorn agent. Now, everyone's talking about, list a lot of property. You got to list to sell in high volume, and I found the one lady who did 83 or so transactions in 2021 as a single agent and worked mainly with buyers. Mrs. Simi Lakani from Orlando, Florida. How are you, Simi?
I'm doing good, Milton. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you, Simi, for being here. Now, who is Simi Lakani from Orlando, Florida? Tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I moved to Orlando around 3 years back in April,
Yes.
completely new to real estate and had no clue about real estate and came in with the heart to help others and to do what's right and join this industry. And I'm blessed by God's grace, to be here and in this incredible Florida state.
Oh, that's
Uh,
exciting. Where are you from?
Well, I'm actually my parents are Indians, but I was born and brought up in Africa, in West Africa, Liberia. So
Wow, that's a
yeah,
great country.
yeah. So been there, the Ebola country. That's where I am
Oh,
from.
is that what it's known for?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I
So
had the good fortune of meeting you. Man, I think you reached out to me here. We're in the same market.
yes.
And occasionally I run into you at the gym. you, you always have your recorder on, which is very inspiring. That's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like we need to track ourselves, and then I try to see if I'm doing something wrong. So I record myself to go back and correct myself. Form is everything, in the gym.
Oh,
So that's what I
100%.
try to see.
Got it.
Yep.
And so you're from Liberia. Now you have a beautiful family, I believe.
Yes, I do. So I'm married with 3 kids. My daughter's
Wha-
19, my son is 14, and my other son is 12.
Wow. So you're a mother of three and you're doing that much business.
Yes, that's it's all God's grace. It's His mercies, and I'm a very spiritual person. Pray a lot, and I ask God to always intervene, and I give everything to Him. So He just keeps helping me out and blessing me with
Oh, that's
that.
beautiful. That's beautiful. So how did you get into real estate?
Well, we the thing is, I was always in sales from since I've been small. I've been a really my dad has maybe around like maybe 15 stores in Liberia. So always I was in sales, interacting with people. And then my husband had his own business, huge business of clothing, always helped him out. So when I came to Orlando, we moved from Virginia. We stayed in Virginia for 17 years, and then I moved here because we wanted to be in a warmer state. And I realized that I think I'll jump into the real estate market, and I would love to help people out. And that's how come I jumped in. My cousin Kirti played a big role. She was already a real estate agent, and she told me, she said, Simi, I think you'll do excellent. Let's go ahead and get you in. And that's how come I jumped into it.
Oh, that there's always that one person that kind of nudges us into the business. I remember my mom; she was inspired by a lady who is no longer with us, Aminta Prince from New Jersey, and so we always remember that lady because she changed our life.
Yep, she's Kirti. Definitely, I always give her the credit that she's the one who introduced me, and
Yeah,
I'll never forget that.
yeah. Do you still keep in contact with her?
Yes, yes, I do keep in touch with her, and yep. And after that, I got into Keller Williams. I was there for a
Okay.
month. I did full
So,
training with them. Yep.
oh, good, good. Yeah, I started at Keller Williams myself. How long were you there?
I was just there for a month, 1 month, in the
Oh, snap.
Southwest
Okay.
office.
Oh, okay. The Dr. Phillips office there.
Yes.
Okay,
And,
that's probably
and,
where we
and
crossed paths because I was there too.
no, I don't think you were there that time. I had met really nice people over there. I met Mark Ramey, I met Brady Richardson, and Brady helped a lot, and he kind of told me what I need to do.
Yeah,
And then on this route, while we were looking for a house, I met Natalie as my broker over there, and she told me, she said, I asked her, can I join you? And she's like, yes, I mean, whenever you feel like joining, you're most welcome to come and join me. And after being 1 month in Keller Williams, I did not feel like I got the support as a new agent because I was asking a lot of questions. I'm a very inquisitive learner and I love to
yes,
soak in. I love to do what is asked for me to do. And I was
yeah,
struggling over there. And I joined Natalie and she guided me. And I'm here today with, a lot of help and support from her.
absolutely. Now, again, nothing negative about Keller Williams, especially the Dr. Phillips office. It
No,
just
not
didn't
at
work out.
all.
It wasn't a good, yeah, it wasn't a good
Not
fit.
at all.
Got it.
No, they're very nice people, and but that everyone has a journey, and God has a place for you, so He just puts you wherever He wants you to.
I love it. I love it. And you mentioned a couple guys, Mark Ramey being one of them, who was my original mentor, who taught me the Mike Ferry sales system. So I'm blessed to be part of that journey with you as well. So congratulations on that.
Milton,
And
believe it or
so
not, even you have been one of the people too, because I would always you put me in the national prospecting group about a year and a half back, I
yeah,
think.
our free Facebook group. Yeah, I think we added you about a year and a half ago, and for those of you who don't know, is we have a live link of Zoom calls, and we're all just freelance accountability partners, let's say. So Natalie Citarelli, how has she helped your growth in your business as far as being highly productive?
Well, so you put this question, 83 sales, how as a single agent I did it. Well,
Yes.
it's not been easy. It was really difficult, and I was overwhelmed with the number of like I was getting, and I went to her. I told her, listen, I'm not able I'm burning out. It's too much for me to handle. And she said, wait, hold on, let me see what I can do for you. And every time there's a problem, she would step in. Like she trained her mom to be my transaction coordinator, and that was a big burden of me. I cannot tell you, I trust her mom a lot with everything. Sometimes I don't even check my CDs. I'm just let her check it, and she's like taken over 100% of the transaction burden from me.
Okay. Okay.
That freedom and trust is the most important thing you look for. And that freed up like a lot of my time, and then I was able to focus on clients. The same time, I would go back to her and say, listen, I'm not able, this is way too much for me. And she would say, okay, you know what, we need to find you showing assistance. You can't do this on. I would say, I know how to find showing assistance. How do I do this? And she will look for showing assistance for me, provide them me that I have help hand to get the doors open and to help me out and say, so I was able to, I got a lot of my sales that way without shedding my commission.
Okay. So let's jump to really question two. What was 2021 like? So you closed out how many transactions in 2021?
Exact 80.5.
Okay. Hey, Simi, your connection is a little bit fuzzy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I'm here.
all right. So 81, 82 transactions, you said? Okay, because I
Yes,
keep saying
yes,
83. It's in the same ballpark. That's awesome. And so your broker, Natalie, assigned you a transaction coordinator.
yes. That was a big
And
help for me.
that was a big help because at Keller Williams, you and I both learned the three L's of real estate. leads, listings, and then leverage. And
Right.
obviously, starting with, if you flip it, you could start with either one of them. Sounds like you started with some leverage for the transaction. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. It makes a lot of difference to have someone to help you out in these transactions. And not only that, being a new agent, there are many questions that come up on contracts. There are problems that occur, that things that happen that can put you back. And having that support system where you can just know that your questions will be answered gives you clarity and a peace of
Yes.
mind. And that makes you grow more because you have that, you feel like you can jump higher if you have support to push you higher. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I remember my first transaction coordinator, her name was Lisa Prickle. And Lisa was helping me. I think she helped me get to like 34, 40 deals. And every time she would, and Milton, what do you think about this? I don't know. What do you think, Lisa? And she would give me the answer. And I would say, yep, let's do it. To be honest, like you said, I had no idea as a new agent. So sometimes a transaction coordinator will help you, right?
Yes, that definitely helps. Having a
So,
transaction coordinator, don't think twice. Get it.
so would you say that would be step one if you were to model 2021 for Simulacani?
That will be step number one. As new agents, we feel like, oh, you know what? We don't want to pay the transaction fees, and we don't want to, we feel scared or fear is there. It's like, you know what? We don't need to spend that extra money. Let's just hold up onto it. What you do is you free up time, and that time can be used to follow up. Follow up is the number one thing I think that helped me in my business. Follow up
Mm,
is what I got from from every person I have been with, even it's been be Milton, you, I see you of your follow up system, and having a consistency of doing it, like getting up early in the morning, going for your exercise, saying your affirmations, saying it 10 times in a day, building your subconscious mind that whatever you need and desire from this world, you proclaim it out and tell the world that this is what I want. Make your vision
yes.
clear and jump on the phones. Don't I cannot tell you how much difference it makes just being on the phone consistently 9 to 12 in the morning, and if you have time in the evenings, that will really bring and leverage your business to a second level.
Wow, wow. So, what do you think was the biggest challenge of 2021 in doing so many transactions?
The biggest challenge was that I was not able to reach to everyone. I felt
Okay,
burnt out.
you felt burnt out.
Yep.
Well, of the 82 transactions, how many of them were buyers?
I think 70, 70.
Yeah, I was looking. I had 75 down, but 70 is what you'd say.
I would say 70s, yeah, around the 70s range.
Man,
Yep.
and a lot of the people that are on our group are prospectors and we're listing agents, and I know a lot of you are feeling that pain in your ribs right now. So I have to ask, how the hell did you do 70 buyers by yourself? You mentioned showing assistants.
Yep. Showing assistance. See, Milton, leads are everywhere. There
Mm,
are Facebook ads, there are Google ads, there are leads everywhere. Leads,
mm,
the many leads. The main thing is that the follow lead. No, you basically do a lot of listings and you call your FISBOs, but that is follow up. If you do the
yeah,
same thing with buyers and you do the follow up and calls with them, they convert.
yeah,
They do. And it's not like being a listing agent. I know that there is more leverage, but as a new agent who's just coming in, you have no choice. You have to work with the buyers and eventually become a listing agent. For now, whatever you get, take it.
yeah. Well, a lot of people that are starting out as prospectors and listing agents, they say, "I'll never work with a buyer." but then we want to introduce them to someone like Sinya Lakhani, who's outproducing them by 10, and you're working with buyers every single day. And I think you realize a buyer right now is a future seller in 5 years, right?
Yes, I cannot tell you
As long
that.
as we follow up.
As long as you follow up from the 82 buyers, and I think I had like 36 transaction closed in 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
30 in 2020. So I'll say about 120 odd. From the 120, I've already got like 10 of my past clients who have listed with me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So
So let me make sure I understand this. In 2020, which was only a year ago, you did how many transactions?
I think they were like 36.
36. Okay, so my good friend on the call right now, Mr. Zach Purdy, he's looking to go to 50. I'm telling him he could do 100. So you can virtually go from 36 to 82 within 12 months.
Yeah, if you put the hard work in it and if you do what is meant and supposed to be done, you can.
That's unbelievable. And again, it's unbelievable because when we tell these stories, no one ever sees the people behind it. And then they're like, oh, well, that can't be me. I've got too many kids. I've got a husband. I'm not with a big brokerage. You're not with a big name brokerage.
No.
Yeah. So the brokerage really doesn't matter, does it?
I do feel like the brokerage matters because they give
Yeah.
you support. Your broker
Okay.
matters.
Your broker matters. Okay. Tell me more about that.
Well, if I did not have I was new. I didn't know anything about real estate. If I did
Yeah.
not have her support and telling me like, listen, you need to do this, you need to go ahead and get a transaction coordinator. First step. Oh, Natalie, I don't know how to get a transaction coordinator. I don't trust people.
Right.
I just don't, I can't give my work to other people. Let's put it that way. I'm not a good
Yeah.
delegator.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm going to get that done for you. And trained her mom for me. Trained
Wow.
her mom. And then her
Talk about
mom.
support. She gave you her mother.
Exactly.
That's commitment right there.
Yeah. That's
That's
commitment.
awesome.
And so when you have that support, and then once you know that you're growing, and you like Milton, I shadowed you, and you told me a few things to get done. I listened to you, and I understood that, you know what, it's this way or no other way. There's no other way to be successful in this business until you don't sit and prospect and do your follow-ups and do your calls. I don't see any other way.
Right.
And we have been a business where we had a brick and mortar store where we had clients walking in to us. I never need to prospect. I never needed to call people to come and buy from us. So
Yeah.
this was a big change for me to go and call and ask for business.
It's interesting. A lot of us read the red book that Keller Williams gave us, and one of the things Gary said in the book was, "Surprise! You're a doctor, but you're in the lead generation business still. You're an accountant, but you're in the lead generation business still." So, my question to you is, how are you generating? Where are you getting these buyers from?
So I do spend a lot of money on marketing, and I do. I do run Facebook ads. I do
Okay.
Google ads. I do Zillow ads. I do
Okay.
Realtor.com. We had our own business.
Yes.
I always go back to my business and see money makes money. You
Mm-hmm.
put money in, you'll get money out.
Yes.
And so I know, like, if you have a brick and mortar store, you'll understand that in order to have to purchase merchandise from you, you have to put the merchandise in the store. If there is no merchandise, you're not going to have someone buying from you. In the same way, I feel I just used that mentality and brought it back into real estate and said, you know what? I need to spend. And I spend a lot of money on marketing, postcards. I do everything.
Would you say you're spending and then also tracking your return on what you spend?
Definitely, yes. That's big for me.
Okay,
I'm a very shrewd spender. I do not
of
just,
course,
yeah, waste the
of
money. So
course.
I make sure that if I'm putting $1 here, I want $10 back.
So let's say I'm asking a selfish question. My goal is 50 buyer sales this year, and Renee Funk, who's also on the call, she says it's investing versus spending. Love that. So if you're telling someone like me, or if you're talking to a brand new agent, what are the top 2 or 3 sources you could say spend it here and you'll get X return?
Um, I think first of all, to spend on a good CRM. That
Which
is
would
number
be?
one. I do follow a boss. That's been
Thank you.
huge for me. Huge. I follow a boss has been amazing. I input everything I have from these Facebook ads. They go in automatically. I do Wire Lopo, which has
Got it.
Raya as a conversion. So even when I'm busy in the car driving, Raya is there. And I'm not getting any money from Follow Boys or Wire Lopo. So I'm not trying to promote anyone. I'm just telling you honestly what I do.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Thank you.
and yeah, she keeps bugging those clients that have
Who's
sent me.
Raya?
Raya is in Lopo. It's
Uh-huh.
an artificial intelligence. Um, she gets into the leads. Like if I get a lead from Realtor.com, she
Hmm.
will automatically, and Realtor.com it's very silent. They don't give you the leads through calls. It comes in silently. So when you get those calls, and if you're not number one on it, you don't get that lead. So what Raya does is she just kicks in right away,
Hmm.
and she just answers it quickly. If I'm on a call, I'm not able. She quickly sends a text for me. Hi, this is Simi with, and she behaves like a real human and say, this is Simi's
Yeah.
assistant. Love to show you the home. What do you want? Right away, I see people texting me, calling me. They're texting her and calling her, and right away I get response. Simi, you need to call this person right away. ASAP. This person is ready to go.
Yeah.
That becomes a hot prospect for me. Then I take the hot
Wow.
prospect and I put it in Follow a Boss. And then Follow a Boss has another way of following up with them. So a
Okay.
lot of my backhand work is done by these automated stuff that I don't need any human doing it for me. And then I go back every morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I check which ones are the hot prospects, which one are I need to call, which one are supposed to be followed up on. And I
Yeah.
categorize them into 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And I know exactly that these are hot prospects. These are people I need to call every day. They're going to buy.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
awesome.
keep texting them every single morning until I don't get them closed. It's like a goal that I need to get them closed. And it's a circle. And I'm
So
not
you
good
you
at it. I
you
still
mentioned.
need a lot of help.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Semi.
I still need a lot of help. I think I can be better. I know that I'm still learning.
Fair enough. So you mentioned Realtor.com. You mentioned Raya, Ylopo, and then the follow-up boss. Other than Realtor.com, what are the lead sources that you're seeing that's working for you?
I do Zillow, Realtor, I do Facebook ads. Google has been huge. And there's
Okay.
one thing that I learned from Tom Ferry podcast. He's not my coach, but I do listen to
Hmm.
him a lot and I pay attention to what he says. He did say that make sure your Google is big and your Google account should be visible to all buyers and sellers. And that plays a big role for me because I've got people calling me directly from Google. I've got
Got it. Got it.
a
So
couple
so
of
they see you
sales.
on Google. What do you think is the key there? Are you spending a certain amount of money? Or do you have a certain amount of reviews? What is it about Google that's making them call you?
I have an account with HomeSnap. I'm HomeSnap
Got
Pro,
it.
and HomeSnap
Got
always
it.
gives me like an alert to go and send a review. Reviews have been huge for me,
Yeah.
and bringing in more reviews, I always get emails from them telling me that, you're top of the mind. And I think those are those, and Tom Ferry talked about it. He did
Yeah.
say that, make sure your Google account is good. Make sure you put more pictures on your Google account. That really helps. And the more reviews you have, the better you are. It's everything is on the internet now, and reviews are huge. And I really work towards getting
Yeah.
reviews from my buyers and sellers.
That's great. That's great. I have a former coach, Mr. Steve Powers, and he had mentioned 100 reviews per platform, 100 on Zillow, 100 on Google, 100 on Yelp. I mean, we want 100. Would you say that's a valid statement, or do you have a number that you would tag to those?
I think that's a valid statement. I'm still working on it. I think I have 55 on Zillow. I want to make Google more. I feel Google has more importance than anyone else right now. And I'm at
Got it.
40, 45. So yeah, it's my aim to at least get 100 by the end of this
So
year, hopefully.
for those of you watching without a job, give us a call. We need some reviews. Okay, got it. So I think we talked a lot about your journey, and what else? Is there anything else about your journey in real estate that you could share with us?
Yep, I would like to say that this business is it's trust based, and the relationship you make with your clients, they eventually become friends. I still remember this one really clearly. I know Keller Williams told me that I should go and knock doors. I did that. Keller Williams told
You should
me
go what?
go and do door knocking.
Okay.
I did that. I did that. I got a $900,000 sale from that door knocking.
Yes.
Keller Williams told me that whenever you go, give your cards shamelessly to everyone.
Yes.
It was very uncomfortable for me to get up, and I would go for tennis lessons with my kids, and I'll see like 50 people all around playing tennis, and I'll be like, this is my opportunity. I need to do something. And it's so uncomfortable to go and just say, hey, talk a little bit and say, here's my card. I would love to help you out in your buying and selling goals. And I
Yes.
did that. And with one buyer I got there, I have got almost 12 transactions from him, from that one
It-
buyer.
It's it's so
Through,
interesting because I'm sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No. Yes, please. Yes, Milton.
I was just about to say before I forget. It's so interesting. We hear the trainings. They say do this, but we don't really understand why they say do this, right? I have a similar story. Recently I had a call. Hey, Milton, would you like to list my house? Sure. Like, where do we meet? We met on an elevator like 4 years ago. Like, huh? I gave him my card, and we think about it like, oh, this is stupid. I'm just going to give my card. This guy will never call me. But you're saying that now that you're starting to see the cycle, now you understand why a broker, a company, a team leader would tell you to do those things. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that one sale has got me so many avenues because I know, and all of them have been around 500,000.
Mm,
That
that's
was a
big.
big one. Yeah.
That's big. And again, the reason it's big, if anyone's listening in, watching, and you're not in sales, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that we get to help certain people with their transaction. They're in good hands. We don't want them to fall into a situation where they're working with their neighbor, sister, brother, cousin, who has no idea what an inspection period is, right? You care about these people.
I do. And the thing is, we always feel like, and I know that it's something that I deal with personally, even today, when I'm out among a crowd of 50 or 100, I'm always thinking twice. Well, it's a numbers game. For every 25 people I give my cards to, one person is going to call me. One person is going to. But how do I do that step? Can I give my cards? Is it okay? Am I that shameless to just give my cards? And I would say, please do that. Take that
Wow.
step and go ahead and give your cards. Go ahead and have conversations. It does not matter whether you're on the phone or you're in a restaurant or you're in a football field, on a basketball field, wherever you see people, start conversing. Start talking to them. Tell them that you're an agent. They will not know until you don't tell them.
Wait, are you essentially saying don't be a secret agent?
Yes.
They used to tell us that, back at Keller Williams, and don't be a secret agent. A lot of them would say wear your name tag. How do you feel about name tags?
Oh, I never have my name tag. That's one thing I don't have. And another thing is I never make my buyer sign a buyer's agreement. I've never done that.
Okay. We'll work on that. We're still working on you. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So is it possible for you to go from 83 deals or 82 deals working straight buyers, because you more than doubled from last year? Is it possible to double again?
Working only buyers, I think, could be difficult. Listing is the way to go because with listings, you get leverage. You get the listings and the buyers. So I am working on that this year. I'm doing Facebook calls. I'm doing postcards. I am farming my neighborhood. I'm doing those. I'm spending.
Got it. It's interesting because last year when we had these conversations, you spoke in an upswing tonality. At 36 transactions, you were speaking up. And a lot of us learning the language of sales, NLP, an upswing creates uncertainty and it causes the person listening to not feel 100% confident in you. And all of a sudden, like my good friend Nina, you guys are just speaking in downswings. Is it because the pocketbook is getting heavier? You're having to speak down? Oh, what's that about?
Well, you know what? If you're thinking that way, I have already. So, when I started off this journey, I started with an affirmation that I'll make 36,000 every month. At that time, I was making zero.
Yes.
But I would proclaim every morning that I will make 36,000 every single month from real estate commissions. That's exactly what I made last year.
Why 36,000?
I just felt like 36,000 is the place that it's great for me. I'll have an average. I'll have a good life. At the same time, it'll be balanced with my kids, with my family, and I will have enough that I'm comfortable. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Remember, I was making zero. So from zero to say I'll make a big deal. This year, I have told myself I will make 86,000.
Yeah.
So my affirmation.
What did that genie in the Will Smith movie say? Be careful what you wish for.
That's true.
Because what the mind of man can't conceive and believe, he can't achieve. And so they say, if you ask, it shall be given unto you. So let's up the number to 100, shall we?
Okay, that's fine. Let's make it a challenge. Let's make it a challenge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's next? Last question here. What's next for Semi Lakani? What's the goal in 2022?
The next goal is I've proclaimed this to myself.
Yeah.
That every single month I'll get 20 listings. I'm aiming for that. So that is my aim, that every single month I know sellers who will call me to list their homes.
Hey, hang on, Semi. Hang on. Where'd you get that from, Semi?
I got it from you.
Yeah. It's funny because we're gonna have Mr. Steve Colt on the call in a few weeks, and my breakthrough month, he had me print out 10 of these and put it all over my house. George Philbeck, who was in our call last week, he saw my house when I had 10 everywhere. That month I hit 10. And on my next call with Steve Colt, he said, well, why don't we just bump it to 20, see what happens? Lo and behold, I went from 10 to 18 that month. So again, what the mind of man can conceive and believe, he can achieve, right?
Right, right.
Look,
It's like when you start running, you can run maybe only for 5 minutes. From that 5 minutes, a person can run a marathon if he puts his mind to it. We can put our mind to anything and we can achieve it by God's grace. All we need is to believe and trust.
yes. Yes, I really like that. I really appreciate everything you said today. And if you had to summarize everything up in the one statement, one quote, one thing you learned in the last 12 months that'll propel you and others in the next 12 months, what would that be?
I've learned that when you're honest and truthful and you do what is right, what goes around comes around in life. I always urge everyone to be that way. And for the goals for next year, I'm here to help anyone who has any questions with anything. I am ready to, please feel free to call me. I'm here to help. Number one thing is, if you keep a mindset to help others and do what is right, God always blesses you and gives you more business. So this is my mindset for 2022, to help others, make sure that they get what they want. They want a beautiful home at the right price with everything going the right way. I'm here for them, and I'm here to make sure that even if it's just agents, I can help out. Anything that can make me a helping person. That's my goal for this year.
That's awesome. Well, listen, we got a bunch of people listening in. They're super excited, energized, motivated, pumped up. These guys are amazing. I'm going to open it up for some questions from the group that's listening in. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Yes. Zach.
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you for your time today. My question is, with you working so many buyers, what kind of schedule do you have? Are you following a schedule, or?
It was a crazy year, and my schedule, to be honest with you, they would call me even 10 o'clock in the night and I'll answer my call.
Right.
Yeah, I would do that. And it's been really, I had no schedule. Like whenever they call me, I'm there for them. I will answer their calls. I'll do everything I can to answer and reciprocate. But I've learned, I did get sick and I got a lot of headaches. I had to change my diet because I was getting drained out. So I decided to start working out. I had to change my diet, switch my diet to a better diet so that it's a very tough business mentally. You really need to take care of your health first.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get your health right, everything falls into place. So there's no regret. Yeah, so it's like 9 to 12. I make my calls. So this is my schedule. I get up 4:45 in the morning. By 5:15, I'm in the gym. From 5:15 to 6:15, 6:30, I'm there. 6:30 to 8:30, I make sure I make all the lunch and breakfast I have for my kids and family. By 8:30 and by 9:15, I'm on the calls. I try to be on the calls till 12. If I have any appointments, I try my best to make it after 12 because I feel 9 to 12 is I mentally vision everything and I feel like 9 to 12 is my store. I'm in that store and my customers are there coming to me. So if my store is closed, I won't have business for the next day. So 9 to 12 is my store is open. That's what I tell myself. My store is open. I'm here. I'm helping clients. I'm prospecting for my better tomorrow. And then after 12, or I make sure I do all my showings after 12:30. And I try to finish it up by 6:30, so that by 7 I can come back home to my kids and again, have that family time with them. But it's not easy. It's difficult. I wouldn't say it's easy.
Thank you.
Well, Semi, I have a question on that because I experienced the same thing even working listings, and I found that getting in the health, a better health position will give us the longevity of it. Now, would you say following that same schedule, you can also, instead of calling those buyers, call sellers?
Yeah, but remember, I do a lot of advertisement on Google and Facebook. So I have those buyers and calling me. So I try to do like a, you're right. But FISBOs are difficult. And FISBOs has a lot of top producers like you calling them. So it's harder to call them.
Well, one thing you have over someone like me is you said you're from a certain part of the world. And a lot of times there's always going to be a percentage that have similar personalities to us. They have similar demographics to us. And there's nothing we could do to overcome someone. Let's say you call someone, they speak Spanish. There's no script I can use to overcome that. And then let's say that lady is from, I don't know, Costa Rica, Colombia. There's nothing you and I can say to that client who can overcome that. So there's going to be people you run into that are from New Jersey, that are Cowboy fans, that went to Keene University. You just never know. So you just have to make the calls, do the numbers. So what do you think is holding you back from making those type of calls?
What is holding me back from, especially, I do fear calling FISBOs. I do fear them because 90% of the time they say they don't want to work with you. They have agents, or they want to sell on their own. Facing those objections and over and over and over again really kills your mindset. And it's something that it's like you're trying to run into a wall, and every time you face a wall. And I know it's just my mind. Probably it's just something that I need to overcome. And I am, like all of y'all, giving my best here because that's where I am struggling right now.
Yeah. Mrs. Iris Colt, who's the wife of the guy I mentioned earlier, she upstate New York. She does about 100 deals a year. She's a millionaire real estate agent lady. And I love millionaire real estate agent ladies because my mom's a great agent. And so one of the things I shared with Zach is her intro to those calls is, "Hi, my name is Iris. I'm a realtor in the area. Reach out and see how I can help you." "Well, bring us a buyer." "Great, I'll see you at 1. And she goes to the house, shakes their hand, previews the property, and gets the listing 9 out of 10 times. And I was like, "Iris, how you didn't even pre-qualify?" She goes, "Milton, they got $1 million house. They're letting me come over. I'm in the door. I'm going to get that listing. Because if they list with their neighbor who sold 1 house, I sold 100. They'd be silly not to list with me."
Oh, Milton, can I go back to the buyers thing with Simi on how to handle a bunch of buyers so someone doesn't get burnt out?
Well, this is Mrs. Natalie Citarelli on the call. She's probably in her amazing, wonderful orange Lamborghini. So sure, Natalie.
No. So the thing is with Simi, she learned how to delegate. So what happens is when you get so many buyers, she learned we started hiring showing partners and showing assists. So this way she can have more time to make the calls and the calls for listings. She would have somebody go out and show the homes. Because a lot of times you have a bunch of clients, it's very hard to show multiple properties, which limits you to how many closings you can have because you're not able to service a bunch of clients. So what she did is she started doing showing partners and showing assists, having door openers, and either paying per door or paying a percentage of the commission, whether it be 10% or per door, like 50 per door and then 25 each additional. which has actually helped a lot of the agents when they want to not really go around, opening doors all the time because clients take a long time to pick. So I think that also helps a lot for a buyer's agent who wants to close a lot of buyer transactions while being able to still make calls for listings.
That's valid. Thank you. And by the way, one of the reasons I do these calls is we're modeling this. I just texted my buyer's agent right now, Edward. I'm like, dude, we got to watch this 10 times because we're doing this shit right now. Like, this is what we're doing. So thank you. Is there anything else?
I think if you're trying to also have time in the evening, I think Cindy's done it too, but we're kind of full to where you put the do not disturb button on where it's like a driving button almost. And at 7:00, you put an auto message that goes out. So if you want to be done after a certain time where it like automatically responds and lets you know, like lets your client know, whoever's calling you, I'm not available right now. However, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Or another thing is when you're prospecting, put on a do not disturb between 8 to 12 so you don't get bothered, where it has an automatic message that goes to somebody as well during those times to keep yourself on a schedule. Got
it. Now, is there anything else?
No. And I love Sydney, so she's one of my faves. She's amazing. One of killer agents.
Good for you for keeping her, because I know there's a lot of great brokers and team leaders and companies after agents like her. So as long as you keep your agents happy. There you go. So how do you
if there is any, if y'all were local, I'll tell you to at least she's a really supportive broker, and she really cares about all her agents. It's not only me, she cares about them, and she just pours a lot into them and make sure that they are successful. And you don't get that every day. So I'm really thankful to you, Natalie. Really.
Oh, thank you.
And Natalie, the first thing Simi said to me when I asked her, hey, can I interview for my podcast? She's like, you should interview Natalie. I'm like, no, Natalie is the broker. I'm interviewing salespeople. But that was the first thing she said. So good for you. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I had a quick question, if that's okay. Forgive me, I'm driving, but so I've been thinking about that system, right? Like, what does that system look like? I know you went over the pay as far as the showing agents. I'm trying to figure out that showing agent system. Do you show them the property the first time, or the showing agent just takes it from day one?
I think it depends on, like, Simi, what she may do is sometimes she'll meet them the first time to make a connection. With me, I never meet people. I just connect on the phone and get a really good vibe with them on the phone. And then I let them know, hey, listen, my showing partner is going to go out and show you the property. I'm going to reach back out to you and let me know what you think about the property. So it kind of just depends. Like, if you want to connect first, but then never open a door after that, or if you feel like you've connected enough and showed value on the phone and that you can just let them know how you work and that, you're not going to be opening the doors, but your showing partner will be, and you guys work together so they don't feel like you're like pawning them off.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. So you meet them first to shake their hand, kind of like a presentation, and then you set the expectations. Is that what I heard?
Yeah,
is that what you
actually what? Well, it depends. Like if the buyer is someone I haven't met in my life before, I like to go personally and meet them and make that connection. Because I'm not sure if my showing assistant will do that for me. But if this is a referral from another friend of mine, and I'm very confident that they know me and they're not going to switch gears, I then go ahead and just send my showing assistant directly. And I'm confident that, and I'm in touch with them. The main thing is that they want to see value in you, and they want to see that follow-up from you. Are you following up? Are you making calls? Are you doing what they're asking you to do? And 99.9% of the time, they stick with you.
Yeah.
Even the Facebook guy I put up this morning, both of them, I've never met them before. But I've been conversing with them for a year and a half. And just being in touch with them is how I got him to call me back. And he left one agent and came to me. And this was the first time I met him. That was yesterday at the closing table.
Wow. Wow. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I got another question with you. You're doing so much advertising on Zillow and Realtor and Facebook and everything. How much profitability is that? Do you know how much you make after all that?
Well, the net, I have made. I think I have made around maybe 250 after everything.
Wow. Okay.
After all the expense and everything, I have made 250. And you can spend the money on advertising. Facebook gives enormous amount of leads. It's not about just spending the money, but you should also have the time to follow up with these clients. If you do not have the time to follow up with them, you just get a whole influx of leads in your inbox and you're not following up with them. It's a total waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
You just be careful how much you spend, because you want to be calling them every single day. There's no point having 1,000 leads and then you're not calling. They're not going to convert. It's the conversations that convert. It's you making those calls every single day, consistently calling, texting, bugging them persistently.
Chris Courtney has a question there. Go ahead.
There we go.
Yourself, Chris.
Unmuted.
Yeah.
Hey there. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I joined
Chris.
a little late, so thanks for being on. I just curious if you touch base on this. I know you're just talking about Facebook lead generation. Is there a certain type of campaign or a type of ad spend that you're doing where you're generating more leads than others that you're noticing? Is there a certain type of marketing platform or something that you're putting out that's attracting more of these active buyers than others?
I have everyone complain and say that the money they spend on leads, they do not convert. And again, I'll tell you that I'm not doing anything special. I'm just putting the money out there. I think everyone has the same platform. So I'm not like, I don't know if there's any other platform. I'm just spending the money. The only thing I think I do is that I make those calls.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I just make sure that I call them every single day. If I'm not calling, I'm texting, and sometimes some of them would not reply to me, and I'll literally say, "Good morning. Are you upset with me? You're not replying to my call this morning." So it's just being very persistent with them is what is getting them to convert.
Gotcha. So I guess the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out, because I've done ad campaigns and stuff in the past and had very, very little conversion. So I wasn't curious if you have a certain set allotment or a time schedule, or if it's a specific new construction listing or something that you're putting to attract these buyers. Is there anything in specific, or are you just making like everyday posts?
I'm making everyday posts. I have a company I spend money with, and they do post for me. And I get the calls directly in my follow-up boss. I see those calls in the morning.
Okay.
Yep, I see them all calls in the morning. I do not discriminate any call. Even if it's a $50,000 call, I just hit the dialer and click and start calling.
Bingo. Okay.
Which dialer? You said follow-up boss is what you use?
I use follow-up boss. And in follow-up boss, what I do is I'll get those pings, and then I'll see, maybe it'll be, let's say for example, Harry did not pick up my call. In follow-up boss, there's a quick action plan. So I'll say did not pick up my call. I'll click quickly add action plan, follow up. So there'll be an automatic thing going to him. So even if he didn't pick up my call, he keeps getting my email, and I can see on follow-up boss that he opened it.
Okay.
And then Raya on YLopo goes back after 1 week and starts bugging him again. So then he will come back and
Interesting.
reply on that. So that's how I've been able to play around
Okay.
with them.
Got it.
Okay.
Wow,
Okay.
this is awesome, Simi.
No,
Sorry about
it's
the
good
time.
stuff.
We've got a few more questions. Do you have the time, Simi?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. I think we had a couple other questions. Let's see. Someone texted. She said she can't. The transition and segue. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying if anyone uses wild upward, just give my name. I might get a referral.
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
kidding.
Let's get Simi some referrals. So, did we have any other questions, guys?
I have a quick question. Simi, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's really, really impressive. Having family, how is the best? I mean, give us a secret. How is the best way to balance work and family?
Oh my gosh, I'm the wrong person for that. That's no, I don't think I have much balance. If you speak with my husband, he has a box of complaints for me that I'm a workaholic. I work way too much than I'm supposed to. And as being in the buyers, there are a lot of agents, so I really have no choice. I have to get up and go. But I've made this change, like what Natalie said. She's the one who told me. She said after 7, put that focus on, and after 7 p.m., if you're not on my favorite list, I won't get your calls anymore. It just goes straight to voicemail. And I've learned to understand that it's okay. It's okay. Let it go. If whatever God has in store for you, He's going to give it to you. There's no point. We're humans. There's so much we can do. After a certain time, I think we need to draw a line and say, okay, that call can be handled in the morning. It's okay.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think you mentioned his name a couple times. Tom Ferry. You listen to his podcast, and I like to go to the source. So I think Tom's original coach, Mike, says that to have balance, you have to master time management. And so it sounds to me like, if you schedule it, if you're done at 6, after 6, that's your kids' time. And then,
Yes.
I heard someone, Mr. Hank Vink over at Bold, he used to say, hang on one second, if I'm at a soccer practice, hey, John, yeah, I'm with my kids. Is it okay if I get back to the soccer game? You kind of guilt them a little bit, but you have to also create that boundary in your schedule. Does that sound fair enough to you guys?
Yes, Milton. I'm sure that you did so many sales last year, and I know you're aiming for 150 this year. I'm sure that you must have created a schedule for yourself. Do you stand by it?
80% of the time, maybe 70% of the time. It's very similar to yours, actually. I'm looking at it here. Same thing, morning routine, 5 a.m., gym, then, get in, try to be on the phones by 8, be done by 12, and then, 1 o'clock until, 1 o'clock admin / follow-up, 2 to 6, and then my goal is to be done by 6 and have personal time. But that prospecting time, you're already doing it. The challenge is, we got to figure out, and Natalie might punch me for this, we got to figure out how to get you to call sellers versus buyers, because you get enough sellers, then the buyers call you, don't they?
Yes, that's what I need to do, is switch from buyers now and call more sellers.
But with 72 or 75 buyer transactions, you probably have enough for 2 buyers agents. Unless you keep running the showing agent model, which is also an option.
Yeah, and running the showing agent model definitely gives you a leverage. And I keep very...
No, I was saying, Sim, you do really good with listings. She's just gotten literally, about 5 listings the last couple of weeks, making the calls, and either we have an inside sales agent making the appointments and stuff like that. She's starting to focus more on that. We even have a couple we double-sided.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you got the support from your broker helping with that transition.
Oh, yeah. She's always there to support me. Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much, Mrs. Simi Lakhani. If anyone needs to send you a referral to Orlando, Florida and the surrounding areas, how do they get a hold of you?
Call me, text me, 407-408-7393. I'm always here to help. For me, it's your client will be placed number one on my list. I promise.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Simi. And if you guys need to reach out to Simi, we'll be posting this on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we're trying to create a little tribe here. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, James. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Simi.
All right.